of my student contacted me that he was gone through actually some multinational company job interview, and there is a very good planning engineer job interview insights in today's video. So these are the questions he was asked in that job interview: that what is total structure tonnage of your project, civil scope, static equipment tonnage, and how you are presenting your project management reports. So these are the things I'm going to explain in this video, because earlier I have already explained this fact that a lot of people are taking this thing that being a planning engineer, Primavera P6 is important. Yes, that's right. But apart from Primavera P6, you should be very good in the product oriented development cycle and technical knowledge as well. So what is tonnage? The first thing, whenever you come through this kind of questions in engineering and construction, typically refers to the total weight of the structural elements of a project measured in tons. This includes actually the weight of material like steel, concrete, and other construction materials. Actually, in job interview, what happens? I will share with you whiteboard. People who are going to ask you questions, they are not going into the details of everything. They will, whenever you are going to quote that I have worked on this project, so they will take some like highlights, like how much tonnage of your steel, concrete. So you should have an idea. This thing, from the perspective of job interviewer, will highlight that how much you are involved in that project. Either you are stating facts or you are only playing with them. So that's why in any project there is a component, major component for utilization is steel, there is concrete, and there are many more other things as well. So they are actually concentrating whenever you are quoting that I have already worked on some project. They are going to ask you some highlights of that project. So tonnage of structure, it means they are going to ask you that how much weight of steel was used in your previous project. So it is showing here materials like steel, concrete, and other construction materials. So first of all, you should keep this thing in your mind with the concept that tonnage means you are going to tell them about the weight in tons about the steel and concrete. So how to calculate that for the steel? Weight of component, maybe your project is comprised of 100 components which are composed by steel. So each and every component will be calculated in terms of weight by quantity surveyors and the people on your project. So this is actually formula. Maybe they will go into the details that what is the formula. So this is weight for per unit length into total length will give you the that component total weight, and then you can individually add up all those components which are under that project scope. And the final calculation, there is wastage, there is a waste percentage, and then there is the things which were utilized from compose some steel structure. The sum of all those components will give you the uh, journal answer or accurate answer for that question, that total, how much total tonnage was there. Because a lot of students will be asked this question but having no clue, because this is actually technical thing. So that's why you should concentrate on such things whenever you are going to some job interview for any multinational companies, to have an idea that what was the total tonnage of your steel structure, concrete, or something like that. Okay. So next, volume calculation, and now I'm going to actually explain the same thing in the context of concrete, but steel structure was something you are going to calculate in the weight. Okay, that's fine. But this concrete, first you need to calculate the volume of concrete required for the project. This is typically done by measuring or estimating the length. Obviously quantity surveyors are have an idea. From planning point of view, there are dimensions, length, width, and depth, and you are going to measure volume for anything, and that volume will be comprised of concrete. So this is how you are going to get that. Okay. Now come on this point, that what is tonnage for static equipment. I will explain first what is static equipment. On your plant, factory, oil and gas field, any manufacturing unit, there are two kind of equipments. One is static and one is rotary. I'm going to explain static. Vessels, your tanks, and piping is actually under the static equipment. So if they will ask you what is tonnage For static equipment, though, what you need to do, calculate the weight. Actually, this is the methodology you have to go for answer of this question, and calculate the weight, multiply the volume of the equipment by the density of the material to get the weight. You have to convert that volume into weight. In many cases, the manufacturer can provide the weight, and then this is how you will get your weight for that static equipment. Okay, density will be multiplied by the volume. So, and the next question which was asked that student, that what was the civil scope of work, this very simple answer to that question, that every project I will explain here, either you are working on a grid station project, airport project, everywhere you can have different kind of work packages. And if you will be asked that what was the civil scope of work, it's not you are going to narrate or state each and every activity, but you are going to tell them there was earth work scope, there was structure work scope, there was building work scope of work. Okay, so like that you can explain that what was the major deliverables comprised of civil scope of work. So how, that's how you can explain the things in job interview. And then the very important question being asked in planning engineer job interviews, that how you are going to explain about or you are going to represent your project reports. So this is actually very specific. At the same time, you are not supposed to give very specific, because maybe you are going to have job interview with some client who have their some specific requirements, but here you have to make general answer that I'm going to represent different kind of things like physical progress, financial progress, okay, then earned value management data based on KPIs, okay, and then respective S curves for engineering, procurement, construction, then S curves for different work packages, and also mention that it is as per the requirement of client or approved baseline or approved mutual consent of all the stakeholders. So that's how it will make you more flexible, that you have already worked with some multinational or professional people if you are answering this progress question in that way. So that's it. If you have any other queries, you can write down in the comments. So I will try to make my next video to add your questions if you are having any queries about planning engineer job interviews. Thank you very much. See you inshallah next video.